6:10. The information to help lay their dead son to rest.
Sheila and Alan Dalton say they've been living a nightmare since their son Jonathan was killed in Stony Stratford near Milton Keynes 8 years ago.
Jonathan's body has never been found, and now the man who killed him has also died. His parents are desperate to find out where his remains lie. Martin Stew reports.
In 2004, Sheila Dalton pleaded with Stuart Martin to tell her what he'd done with her son's body.
Well, I would like him to ease his conscience and tell us where John's body is.
In June this year, Martin died of a heart attack, taking his secret to the grave. Jonathan's family's last hope is that the killer confided in a friend.
All we want is to bring him home, so he's back with the people that love him. Not lying alone somewhere in a cold, unmarked grave. Our son deserves better than this.
In 2002, Stuart Martin killed Jonathan Dalton in his own home in Stony Stratford. No one knows why. The mystery of what happened here 8 years ago will probably never be solved. One thing is for sure. At midnight on the 25th of February, Alan Dalton said goodbye to his son for the last time. 45 minutes later, a muffled call was made from Jonathan's phone. Martin's voice could be heard, and it was clear something had gone wrong. Nothing was heard from either man until Martin took his son to school in the morning, giving him 7 hours to dispose of Jonathan's body.
He could have gone well north beyond Leeds in that time, and there's no reason for me to suggest he's gone in that direction, but to give you an indication of the distance he could have travelled. We know that Stuart Martin shared the information about killing Jonathan because he phoned an associate twice on the morning after he had killed Jonathan, and again the following morning. That makes me feel very hopeful that he must have told somebody, because it's a big secret and probably a big burden for him to carry all that period.
As Martin was found guilty of manslaughter, the criminal case is closed. Now Jonathan's family want closure of their own.
Someone is out there who could end our suffering. Mr. Martin is dead, and so his former friends, family and associates, and our only hope. Perhaps he said something to you. Please help to return our son to us. We need closure. If Jonathan can be found, we may be able to move forward with the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Martin Stew, Anglia News, Milton Keynes.
The judge in the trial of the French chef stabbed to death in Essex has begun summing up the case. 37-year-old Reynold Duchesne from South Woodham Ferrers had been at a classical concert in Southend's Priory Park in June. He died after an argument outside the park. 22-year-old Carl Wills denies murder. The jury are expected to retire to consider their verdict tomorrow.
Now you're watching the last Anglia Tonight of November. Great to have you with us this Tuesday.
The campaign to save RAF Marham has been stepped up. The Norfolk airbase is under threat from government spending cuts. But today, a group of local MPs supporting the base handed in a petition at Downing Street. More than 5,000 defence jobs could be lost at Marham, as Malcolm Robertson reports.
In Downing Street today, a snow patrol. A party of MPs from Norfolk and Suffolk campaigning to save RAF Marham. They were keen to make Westminster aware of the strength of feeling in our region. With the government deciding which of the tornado bases to axe, Marham or Lossiemouth in Scotland, this is an anxious time for all those involved with the two RAF stations. Lossiemouth organised a very public demonstration in support of its case, with the Defence Secretary making it clear that military objectives will play the key role in his decision.
I've always believed that the economic and military case is very much in favour of RAF Marham, but I think what we've shown as well is that people in Norfolk care about it just as much as people in other parts of the country.
101 miles from Downing Street, Alf Piccolino's working in his garage on the base at Marham. He's been here 25 years, and the vast majority of his business comes from RAF personnel. If the base closes, his business, like a lot of others round here, would suffer.
Well, it would struggle. We'll try and keep it going as long as we can, but then at the end of the day, you might just have to, if you're going to start losing money, you've got to, just shut it down and that's it.
A petition was handed in at number 10. It's been orchestrated by a local radio station and local newspaper. Almost 37,000 people signed it. backing the campaign to keep Marham alive.
Often in the past, Norfolk has kind of shrugged its shoulders and said, well, whatever will be, will be. They haven't on this particular issue, and it's shown the strength of feeling behind Marham.
Here there were fears that Lossiemouth was winning the PR war, but within the past month the campaign to keep Marham open has certainly intensified, although it could be well into the new year before we discover which of the two RAF stations is likely to survive. Malcolm Robertson, Anglia News at RAF Marham.
More than 8 workers are chasing each job vacancy in Great Yarmouth. Research by the GMB union shows the Norfolk seaside resorts tops the table in the region for the highest number of people for every job vacancy. On average, the East has 2 job seekers for every available place.
The father of a young man who died after a party at Michael Barrymore's home has requested that police re-interview the TV personality. Essex police have never found out exactly how Stuart Lubbock died, but his father Terry contacted them after reading an interview with Michael Barrymore in the Radio Times. Essex police say they will look at the content of the article and make any appropriate inquiries.
Now, thousands of people pass through it every day on the A11. In fact, I think I did today. But few would guess that the unremarkable landscape of the Brecklands is one of the richest natural habitats in Britain.
Now, a unique biodiversity study has revealed that more than a quarter of the country's threatened species can be found there. Ellie Price reports.
It may not look very inviting under the snow, but this is home for 28% of Britain's most threatened species. 200 volunteers contributed nearly 1 million records on plants, insects and animals in one of the first studies of its kind. Experts found there are 12,500 species, all living, some exclusively, here in the Brecks.
To discover that nearly 1/3 of all the rare species in the UK can be found here in Breckland really elevates the importance of Breckland. It really puts it on the map. This should be up there along with national parks, along with places like the New Forest and the Cairngorms. It's one of the most important areas for biodiversity in the UK.
Breckland stretches from just north of Swaffham down to Bury St Edmunds, and from Mildenhall across to Watton, covering 370 square miles. Foxhole Heath, where we were filming today, is one of the few places in the UK where you can find rare coastal species inland. Some of the locals include the stone curlew, the pool frog, which had been extinct in Britain until its recent reintroduction, or how about this tongue twister, the Orthoceras clavicornis beetle. Not to mention thousands of rare plants. This is the Spanish catchfly. You can only find it in this part of the world, where it grows very nicely right next to a main road. Breckland is a unique habitat because of its sandy soil and dry climate, and its people. Unlike many other conservation areas, experts say it's precisely because of human activity that so many species have flourished.
If you were to leave this land alone, it would quite rapidly develop into scrub and then woodland, which would have its own interest, but you would lose the really unusual, distinctive things that you find here.
It's hoped the report will help local landowners conserve the area even better.
It's about a constant activity to help maintain these sites. They take a lot of work. I mean, whether it's a heath like this or whether it's the kind of things we're doing on farmland with farmers, like cultivated margins, they take quite a bit of work. So it's a constant effort, really, to sort of maintain this stuff for the future.
And the future for Breckland should be bright if, as experts hope, the area will get the recognition it deserves. Ellie Price, Anglia News.
I'm sure lots of the wildlife's hiding in this weather.
Absolutely. Now,